was sitting here thinking about how it'll never be you. I know what you're thinking, like, bro, well, golly, like, what type of motivational, inspirational shit is that? Well, first of all, friend, I never told anybody I was here to be motivational or inspirational. Never said that. I'm here to wield the sword of truth. So let the chips fall where they may. But it'll never be you because you're addicted to your humanity. You're attached. You got an attachment to this physical world. You got an attachment to life as you know it. So you're never going to turn. You're never going to walk away from certain things. You're never going to turn your back on certain things. You have loyalty to your friends and your family and your career, your church, your community, your race, whatever causes that you like. Well, damn, Rook, what's wrong with that? Not a thing. If that's your thing, I just need you to know that it'll never be you. It just, this, you don't meet the minimum requirements. You understand? It can't be you because you're not willing to come to the altar. You have to put it all down on the altar. And you're not willing to do that. Everybody keeps trying to find like this master key, this secret. Like when you're moving through life and you really maybe you feel like you're stuck and you could be on the brink of an awakening. Like right now, you could literally be like, okay, something is weird about this life shit. I don't know. I don't really know if I'm coming, if I'm going. Something is up, right? And you want to know, where do I start? Like, what do I do? Like, how do I how do you go about this, right? I don't have a background in any of the things that I'm living right now. I don't. I don't have a background of health and wellness. I don't have a background in spirituality. That wasn't my upbringing. I don't have a background in love, not in its purest, truest sense. I don't have a background in I don't know, fill in the blank, self development. So how does one get here? When one realizes that, it's like, okay, now what? How did I find my way through the maze? Is one word. You ready? Willingness. I had a willingness to know. You don't have that. You think you already know. You know how it goes. You know what the right way is, and that's what you're going to stick to. And that's why it'll never be you. You've already decided where your loyalties lie. It's not you, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But it ain't you, not this lifetime. Or at least what you've chosen so far. It's not you, friend. I was listening to this old Wayne Dyer video, and Wayne was talking about how he had spoken to this hospice nurse. And hospice is the like the end of life care for people who are on their deathbed and terminally ill, people who may be gravely ill, some sort of sickness where they're like right at the brink, and they just kind of their goal is to just kind of bring them comfort as they ready to transition. And so they documented a bunch of people, thousands of people, and they wanted to document the top 5 regrets of people on their deathbed. And he said, she told him that The number one regret of people on their deathbed. Mm. The number one thing people regretted not having the courage to live the life they knew. That's an important part. They knew that they were destined to live. They knew they were destined for something greater. They did hear the call. They did hear the whispers, but they let the other voices speak louder. Mm. You know, I could go to sleep tonight. I could close my eyes and never open them again and be out of here. And I'd feel like the thought of that, I feel good about. Like, it doesn't bring me anxiety. It doesn't make me worried, or it doesn't make me anxious, or um I don't feel anything from that thought. Like, if you get word that Rook the Great then got up out of here, listen, don't shed no tears for me. No, no. Don't start no conspiracies. Don't say no, they got her. Can't nobody get me. Nobody got me. That's not what happened. No, 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 no. There was no accident. It wasn't tragic. It wasn't conspiracy. It wasn't unfortunate, the devil, the enemy, none of that. It was me deciding to hop off this ride. Give me my props, okay? Don't give nobody else that. You give that to me. Salute me on that. You understand me? But the thought of that doesn't rattle me. But that right there, the idea of not having the courage, to live the life I know that I'm destined to live, that I feel pain from that. The thought of that gives me pain. The thought of that disturbs me. The thought of that, now that would keep me up at night. The idea of death, that wouldn't keep me up at night. You understand what I'm saying? When it's you, ain't nothing more important than that. When it's you, there's a willingness. There's a willingness to turn from everything that this funky old world got to offer you. And there's no disrespect to the world, right? Because the world is essentially you. So we ain't banging with the world. We ain't trying to shit on the world. We just know the world is limited, and we're not. So why would I give the power to the limited? I wouldn't do that. But it'll never be you when you got stipulations. When you say, I'll do, I'll do this, but I won't do that. I'll go this extent, but I won't go that far. Disqualified. Access denied. When you throw yourself on the altar represents the meeting place. The meeting place of the lower state of mind and the higher state of mind. And you say that anything that I'm holding on to in this lower state, I'll put it down. You ain't said that. You ain't never said that. You ain't never really had a moment with yourself and you just whispered it to yourself and said, I surrender. You ain't never said that. And that's why it ain't you. And that's why, if you stay the course, you're going to be one of those same people on your deathbed, regretting that you didn't have the courage to live the life that you knew that you was destined to live. See, it's one thing when you don't hear it, right? You doing certain things and, you know, you don't hear it. But when you hear it, when you know in your heart and spirit, but you go against. And you go against because you don't trust yourself. And you don't trust yourself because you don't know yourself. Damn.